Hello guys, in this video we will learn how to manipulate AWS EC2 instance using a Boto3 module in Python. So for that, first you have to be logged in a AWS account, right? So now you can see here my instances, EC2 instances. Here you can see my two instances that are in a stopped mode, right? And second, you have to be open a Python compiler. It could be your PyCharm, Python ideally, and Jupyter Lab, right? So in our case, I'm using a Jupyter Lab, and make sure you have installed Boto3 module. So I have already installed Boto3 module, right? So just open this file, and here first we have to be import Boto3. Let's rename and let's run it. So now we are able to import this module because I have already installed this module. And second, you have to check the version of this module, right? So how you can check and run. Now you can see this is the Boto3 module version, and you have to be open this version of your AWS Boto3 documentation. And third, you have to be open this Boto3 AWS documentation. Now you can see the version, and same version we are using of Boto3. So this is your latest version that I am going to use in this video, right? And now after importing this module, we have to log into AWS account, right? So I have used here to log in this account my email ID and password, right? Username and password. But to log in this account using in Boto3 or any scripting language, so you have to require two things for authentication. First, you have need access key, and second, you need secret key. So these two information you have to be get to login into a account. So let me create a two variable to keep this information. First, I will create an access key and equal, let's keep default as of now, and secret key. How you can get this information? You have to be open here, come back AWS account. Here you will see in a account section credential, security credential. So let me open this one in a new tab. Now scroll down, here you will see the access key. So you can create your new access key and create and confirm here, create new, and here you will find that information, right? So this is your secret key. Let me copy this one and I will paste secret key, and this is my secret key variable, right? I have stored here. And let's come back here, this access key, and you can download this CSV file and you make sure you have done, right? Otherwise it will not make an authentication. And here you have to paste second information. So we have stored our credential in a variable, and second we have to be using function to authentication to this account or to log in this account. So what I will do here, Boto3.session. In this you have to be pass this information. How you can get this information, how you will provide this information, I will refer to AWS Boto3 documentation. Let's open this one and scroll down. Here you will find session, and here now you can see how you are using. So these are the argument that you have to pass, right? Reason name you can pass, profile name you can pass, but these are optional. You have to pass these two information. So what I will do, I will copy this information, access key, and I will paste here, and then equal, and here you can pass your variable in which I have stored this information, and comma. Second, you have to be passed here this argument, copy this one, paste here, and equal, you can use your secret key, access key. So let's run it. Now you can see we are able to run it, right? So let me store this object in a variable. So what I will do, I will create a object name as also session, right? Session. So I'm keeping the same name of my object, and let's run again. So we have stored this information. All the object will be belong to this session. So session, we have to be connect to your AWS service, whatever service you are going to be a connect, right? So we are going to be perform, we are going to be manipulate EC2 instance, right? So for that we have a different service. So let's come back to AWS documentation. Here you will scroll down. Now you can see API reference services. So these are the all services available service, right? Like a access analyzer, account is also service, and scroll down. Now you can see there are a lot of services available. Here you will find EC2 service. Now you can see this is your service name. Here we have a client and resource and paginator and waiter. So we'll discuss this later. Client and resource both can access to EC2 services. These are the Python function of Boto3 module. So this can access to EC2 service to manipulate, right? Let's try to manipulate using a resource function, right? So just click on it, and now you can see these are the resources that you can manipulate in a EC2 service. So we have to be first we have to be create an EC2 instance. For that you have to be open service resource, and now you can see here. So these are the options that you can use. So we have to be create an instance. So create instances. So let's open this, and I will copy this method name. Okay, this is my method name. You can copy from here. All right. So this is your method. Exact same name you will be find in a script. So for that, what you have to do first, you have to be connect to resource, right? Resource, right? So how you can connect to resource, and this resource, so we have to use here dot resource and resource. Then you have to be, so what service you can pass here to resource, right? Now you can see here service resources, right? So now you can see how they are connected. So this is your Boto3 module name, then you are accessing session, right? So using a session we can connect. So let's come back here, session resource, and then come back here. We have to pass service name, right? So let's keep the EC2 service name, EC2. Let's run it. Now we are able to, so it is giving an error. So why it is giving an error? Now you can see you must be specify the reason. So we have to be specify the reason because we have not wind up the reason. There are a lot of reason is available in AWS. Now you can see Mumbai region and California region, right? So a lot of reason is available. So you have to be bind up your region in which you want to be work. So all the services that are all EC2 instance that belong to Mumbai. So instead of putting this name Mumbai, we have to be use a code for that. So now you can see this is the code for Mumbai region. We have to be use this one, copy, and here you have to be use a region. So let's region name equal, put that, right? Now run it. Now we are able to run it. So we have to be store this information, this object in a variable. So I will create here EC2 resource, and so I have keep the name EC2 resource here, right? So let's run it and save it in this object. Now we have a lot of object that is belong to this, right? Now if you want to see that, now you can see here these are the object available. So what object and what function you want to be accessed, right? So let's come back to the documentation. Here I have to use this function, right? So this one function belong to that particular, right? Just copy here and paste here. So I want to create this one, right? And let's open this instance, how you can create, and scroll down. Now these are the number of arguments that you can pass here. Right now you can see these are the arguments. You can create also default value. For example, if you don't specify subnet ID, so it will create default subnet, and if you are not specifying a BPC, so it will also belong to default BPC, and security as well as, right? So what I will do, I will give here machine, right, this and machine type, these two information I want to keep here. Let's copy and paste here, and which instance I will keep here, T2 micro, which is free, so therefore I am using T2 micro. If you are using a, if you want to be using a different instance types, you can use that one, right? And let's use here one more variable, that is a max and min count, right? So let's copy this one also, and these are the mandatory that you need to be specified, right? And paste here. So here you have to be use this one. So I will use here 1, here also 1. I want to be create only one instance, right? And how you can find this image ID? So you have to come here, and then you will scroll down here, image catalog, AMI catalog. Here you can find free tier. So I will use this. This is your image ID. So you can copy this one or this one as well. So this is the difference on the architecture only, right? So you can copy any one. Now you can see image ID, right? So you can use any one. So let's copy this one, and I'll come back here. I will paste here. Let's paste here, and let me run it. Now we are able to get this data, instance ID number, and let's come back. So let's refresh it. You will see here third instance. Now you can see this is the instance that is a pending, right? And now you can see, and there is no name is available. So how you can put here name, right? So, and one more thing here, you can see public ID and monitoring is disabled, and it is keeping the default security group, and key name is missing, right? How you can pass this key name and as well as the this name, right? So let's come back here, and I will create again here what I need here. I will come back here. You have to find the key name, right? So let's copy this one parameter, number of argument is available. So you can use, you can pass here like, and how you can find the key name. So let's come back here, and here we have a key pair. So now you can see these are the keys. You can use any one. Let me copy this one, AWS key, and I will paste this one. So we have put it the key name, and one thing is left, that is a name. So that is a tag name. So you find here tag specification. Now you can see this is the tag. So it is ending here. Let's copy this one and come back here and paste here. Now you can see what I will do. I have to remove this one. There's a lot of data. Which type we have to use here? Instance. So there are a lot of deleted. Right? Here we have to use an instance and use here comma. Right? And you can make it in a single line as well. So we, right, these are the argument. So let's run it again. Now we got it the different instance ID. Let's come back here. We will find that instance this time, and now we can see this is the running instance and this is the pending. Oh, why this is pending? Because now you can see here key has attached but name is not came, because let's come back here, we didn't give the name, right? So let's keep the name, and this time, and I will here keep the like a Boto3 instance, right? And let's run again create as game. We'll refresh it. Now you can see Boto3, and name also has came, that is a pending, right? So we are able to create this, right? And you can store this information as well as in a object if you want to, like a new instance, right? Like that you can store this information. But if you want to be stored, so I don't want to be stored it. Second operation that I'm going to be performed here, listing all instance of a given region, right? How you can fetch that all instances from Mumbai region, how you can fetch that all instances. So how I can fetch this, we had created a one object that is a EC2 resource, right? So all the object, whatever operation you want to be performed to this service, so all object or function you will find. So EC2 dot, and I can also find that dynamically here, right? How you can find, now you can see, scroll down, all the method you can find here. So which method you want to be, now you can see they are having a instance and instances. So you can see these instances in a Boto3, but you will not be find in a documentation. So instances, when you run it, so now you can see it's an property, right? It's an property, you don't have to use it, break it, because it's an property. So let's say what I will do, I will save also, right? Instances, right? And let's run it. So we have got these instances. If you want to check it, now run it. Now you can see all the instances, but you are not able to, because this is the object. If you want to see that all object, now you have to use this one. Now still you are not able to see that. So what you have to do, it's an object, so you have to convert into a list. And how you can convert into a list, and let's run it. Now you are able to see the all instance ID which are available in a Mumbai region, right? That we have bind up. If you want to get from other region, so you have to be bind up here, right? So we are able to get this instance ID, but you want to be get the other detail. So how you can get that detail? This is your collection of object, right? So you can access all the property. So if you want to check it, how you can get it, this information, first we have to be come back here on documentation, come back here, scroll back here. Now you can see instance, right? So using instance, these are the property that you can access. So what property you want to be accessed? For example, I want to be access the tag and state. So how you can access this information? So let's say you have to be iterate over the for data in instances dot all data whatever is available, and then you have to use here print and data dot tag, right? So this is your first information, and let's me create another object that I will save here. You just have to copy here, exact name you have to be passed whatever you are seeing here, right? So let's me paste here state. Now run it. We are able to get this information, but if you want to save into a CSV file, how you can save this information in a CSV file, right? So for example, if I come here, now you can see like a name, instance ID, instance stage, instance type. So what I will do, let's keep this information, instance ID, instance type, instance state. So these three information I'm going to be put, right? For example, you can also put this launch. So this information I'm going to put in a CSV file. How I can put this information? So first we have to be import a module, right? So here I will import pandas, you have as PD. Okay, let's rename it, let's run it. And here what I will do, I will keep the state only, in which variable, like and one more variable I want to be data dot, let's come back to documentation. Here I will find the name. What is the name? Instance ID. Let's copy and paste here, and another that I want to be get the information instance type, right? So instance type, I will keep this information as well, right? Like ins type equal data dot paste. So this information I want to put in a CSV, and I will keep here one variable result equal run it. So I will run here result. Now we are able to get this information, right? So here we are getting a code 80 and name this. So instance and data icon is like this. So what I will do here, I will get this information name instead of code. So this is an state, right? So I will keep here this and dictionary. So to getting this information, this is the way to getting this information. df equal to pd dot data frame. I will use result. Let's run it. We are able to, and df. Now you can see. But here what we have to do, we have to keep here column name, right? Column name, and what column name you want to be keep. And first I need instance ID. Second I need like a type only, and third I want to keep the status. Let's run it. This time looking like this. df dot to CSV. So this one function we can use, and here we have to keep the file name like a result dot CSV, and here we have to check another, that is a index equal to true. Index equal to true, and run it. Let's come back here, and this is my CSV file. Now you can see instance ID and type and status as well. So we are able to store this information in a CSV file. So let's come back to the script, right? And we are able to get this information using this method instances, right? So we have a one more method same like a EC2 dot instance, right? So this is the method. If you want to see that, now you can see here we have this method already, and now you can see you have to put here ID. This is the mandatory, you just have to pass. So using this you can get only particular instance, right? So for example, I want to get this information, copy this one and come back here, and let's paste here and inverted comma put here, and now you can see you are able to see that. But what I will do, I will store this information output, and if you want to see the all detail, right, output dot, for example, you need to be access the which information, scroll down, for example, okay, launch time I'm going to use here, so you can get that information here. Now you can see the information, right? So using like this you can get any information. For example, you want to get this information state. So how you can get it this information, let's change here, and now you can see what is the running, it's returning in a dictionary. So how you can get the particular key, so like that you can get the particular key, right? Run it. Now you can see it's showing running. So like that you can manipulate your output. We are able to get the all instances property, whatever is attributed associated to that particular instance, and using a you can also get the particular instance as well, right? We have to be understand one more thing, how you can filter your instances. For example, you want to be fetch only running instances, so how you can fetch that information. For fetching that information, and we have a different thing, right? So using this you can get only particular instance, right? But we have another that is a instances, right? So instances, we had used these instances, right? So using this you are able to get this information. But if you want to filter this information, how you can filter it? Let's come back here, and I will create same like a EC2 dot. So you just have to use here dot, and then you can see here is there method is available for filter. Now you can see filter method is available, and scroll down and you can see the syntax how you can filter it, right? So in filter you just have to use this one, copy and paste here, and here you can define on which status you want to be filter, right? So for example, let's scroll down here, you can see these are the property. On the basis of that you can filter availability zones, you can see, and here you can see client and DNS name, host ID, hyper and image ID, instance ID. So I will use here instance type. Where is the instance type and instance name? Using this property I want to be filtered. What are the values? Pending and running, terminated, shutting down and stopping and stop. So exact same value you have to be put here. So here you have to be put that property name, and here what value you have to be give there. So what I will do, I will keep here running. If you put a capital R, so it won't be work, and get it. Now we are able to access. So if you want to, let's save in a data equal, right, and let's run it, and you want to check it the all data, so you can check it. Now you can convert into a list so that you can see the all instance ID, right? And now you can see these are the ID FA38 and double D. So let's come back, and double D FA38. So these are the running, so it is getting only running state services. If you want to be fetch only stop service, you just have to put there stopped, right? And let's come back, and what I will do on the basis of a instance type, these are the T2 micro, right, and some are the T2 nano. So what I will do, I will select only T2 nano, right? So on the basis of this, how you can select, just come back to here and scroll up. Let's see the parameter. So for that, these are the instance type, right? So let's see instance type and instance life cycle, instance state, and instance type, right? So now just copy this property and paste here, right? And what value you have to be put there? T2. Let's run it and again run it. Now we are able to 47, last one, and 47, right? So we are able to get this particular detail on the basis of different properties. So we are able to filter on the basis of a state, and we are able to filter on the basis of its type, right? So if you want to be filter on the basis of a zone, so you can also filter on the basis of zone, right? And time also, on the basis of time you can also filter. So this is the way how you can filter. So let's come back. So we have this state instance system, how we can stop and how we can reboot, how we can terminate, right? So let's come back here, and we had created one instance, right, and R2, right? So this one object EC2 resource, right? We have created this one, and we have a one object. First you have to be get the all instances, right? So you have a two-way through that you can perform this action. So first I will EC2 resource dot, here you have an instance, right? Now you can see you have an instance and instances, right? So using both you can instances. So using instances you can stop all the instances whatever you will fetch here. So it will fetch all the instances, or you can filter. You don't have to be iterate over the loop to stop one by one. So it will directly perform that action on all instances, right? So let's see. First we have to store in a variable like a data. Again I'm going to create, and it will override and write, sorry, instances, right? So we have to put the instances, and let's see instances, sorry, data. And now you can see we have a different limit, monitor, pages, reboot, start, stop, terminate, monitor, and monitor. So let's first perform the stop operation. So we have to be filter here some, right? So for filter we have to be use it running, right? So first I will get all the running. So we have a filter method, and in filter method we have to use this way, right? Just let me copy this one. I will copy and paste here, and I will use here, and let's come back here, and we have an instance type, right? This one we have to use this one, and let's paste here, and let's change running. So I want to be stop all the running instances. First I will get this information. There is a syntax error. So what is the syntax error? We have to be understand. We just have skip this one, paste here, run it. Now if you want to see that, you can see as well, but I'm going to stop this, right? So let me check. It's an function, right? And let's run it, and let's come back here. I will refresh here, right? So we are able to stop it, and let's come back to here. We are able to stop, and if you want to be filter the stopped, let's run it. And what I will do this time, I will run this all instances, right? So data dot start, let's see, start of method is available, and run it. So you are able to run all the instances at a one time, right? So you are not starting one by one. So if using an instance method, we have another method, that is a, let me create EC2 EC2 resource dot instance. So this will get only particular instance, right? So using a resource ID, so you can get only, you can also perform that operation. For example, I have a resource ID instance, right? So this one I'm going to use this one, and let's keep this information here. And what it will do, let's save into a RE variable and save it, and let's see dot, and you can find here as well different methods. So what I will do here, I will use a terminate, and let's terminate. So we are able to terminate this instance. Let me refresh it as well as, now you can see this one is a terminating, and these are the running, right? So if you want to be stop these running instances, so you can stop using a instance method or instances method. If you use an instances method, you can terminate or delete all the instance without loop. But if you use an instance, so using this, you have to be use a for loop to iterate and to terminate or whatever action you want to be perform, right? So just one more thing that I want to show you, how you can enable or disable this monitoring, right? So just come back here. So in a EC2 instance, right? So we have opened this instance resource, right? And instance resource we have a action section, right? In action section you will find the monitor, right? So just copy this one, and let's come back here. And what I will do this time, first I will store this information, and what I will do, I will fetch, right? I will fetch this instance, right? Let's copy instance ID. I will replace this because this is not exist, like a result. Let's rename it, and I will keep here. Now you can see monitor, and it won't be accept any argument, I think, right? Now you can see. So run it. Now we are able to enable a monitoring. Refresh it. Now you can see this one instance has enabled. And if you want to disable it, how you can disable, just scroll down here, you have a unmonitor, just copy this one, come back here, and we have a rest and I will paste here and make it function, run it, and now it's disabling, right? And let's come back here. And so these method, whatever method or action you are seeing here, these are belong to only particular instance. If you are going to be perform this operation to collection of instances, you can't be performed, but you can perform this operation like a reboot, terminate, like a instance stage related, right? Some action you can perform, but all of action you can't be performed. So we are able to do this, right? And how you can attach or detach any volume, right? So let's come back here and you will find the volume here, right? So we have this volume as well, right? If you want to see that status of this, these are the in a use, right? So what I will do here, I will create a new volume here first, and size for example 30, and name for example, name it test, and create. Now you can see it is creating, it is not attached to any instance, right? And if you want to see that here, now you can see this is the empty. If you want to be attached to this particular instance, how you can attach it? So you just need this one, and you need also this device name. If you want to check how you can get the device name, so you just, what you can do, just perform this action manually right here. Now it's available, and if you want to perform this action, here you will find attach, and here you can select any instance. Now you can see this is the device name. Just copy this one and come back here. You need instance, right? So which instance we have to be get using an instance ID res, right? So to this particular we have to be perform this action res dot attach. Now you can see attach volume. Here you will find the syntax, how you can pass this information. Now you can see device name or volume ID. So device name is mandatory to attaching this information. Let's paste it, and device name we can find here. Let's come back and this information, right? Search, copy, and paste here device name, right? And volume ID. So let's come back to volume ID. Now this one is my volume ID, and you can find also, come back here, which volume I'm going to be attached, which is not in use. Now you can see here. So you will, and this is available not in use. So I will copy this volume ID, and I'll come back here and I will paste here this, and let's run it. We are getting this output. So if you want to store this information, so you can store this information in variable and assign to that. So let's see if you want to verify this information. Refresh first, and now you can see here in use, and we have attached here, right? And if you want to detach, how you can detach? So let's come back to documentation. Here we have a detach, right? Detach volume. Just copy this one, and we have get the instance, right, in a res result variable, right? So using this, so we have to be access that one. So res is an object in which I have stored the particular instance. So let's paste here, and here you have to put the only volume ID. So how you can put that volume ID? Now scroll down, just copy this one, and this information you can also get from the documentation, but I'm able to get this information. Let's come back here and click on it, right? Now you can see this same thing, we are able to get this here. So and we have to put the volume name, right? So let's copy this volume name, which I'm going to be detached. So let's paste here and run it. Now we are able to detach. Therefore we are getting the information. Let's come back Yeah, so it's taking time. Now you can see here it's an available, not in use, right? And instance is not showing here attach instance, right? So this is the way how you can attach and detach and volume to instances particular, and how you can manipulate your tag name, right? So if you can see here, right, for example, this name, this and here tag, how you can attach the tag to this EC2 instance. So for attaching, and we have a documentation, come back here, and you can see here action, right? So here you can see create tag. So just copy this one, and I will use this function exact same. Let's copy here. It's a particular instance, right? It's particular instance in which you have stored. So I have stored this in a res variable, right? So let's come back, and what I will do, let's keep that meaningful variable name here, like my instance, right? Run it. So my instance, we have stored my instance, right? And dot, and I will paste that create. So C is missing, so I will use create. So let's make sure again C is capital or small. Yeah, capital, sorry, small. I don't require this one. This is for checking purpose. Key name, what key you want to be keep there, for example environment, right? And I will keep here deb. And if you want to store this information in variable, you can store like a new tag equal and run it. And new tag, you can see new tag and run it. Now you are able to see. If you want to verify, let's come back here. Here you can see, let's refresh first. This one tag, right? So let's come back here. Why it is not showing? Boto3, let me verify the tag. Instance, my instance name 38538, right? So this is my instance. Let's come back here. 358. Now this one, right? So let's come back here, and you will find the tag here. Now you can see environment, you are able to see, right? So if you want to update this, so same thing you have to use and create. So I want to be update instead of dev to development, right? So same function you have to use like a create function, right? So same what I will do here, I will use development, right? And let's run it, and you want to see that. Now you can see, and let's verify. And what I will do here, I will refresh here so that you can understand. 358, this one instance, right? And come back here, tag development. So it's able to update, right? So using the same function. If you want to delete this tag, how you can delete? So for that we have a action variable method, that is a delete tags, right? So let's copy this one, and you can open also. Now you can same thing you have to be passed here. So what I'm going to do here, my instance dot paste, and I will put here tag name. So same thing what I will do, I will copy this one, and I will copy and paste here. So which tag I'm going to be delete, so I have passed here. So this tag I'm going to be delete. So using this you can understand. Now let's verify it, and refresh it. This one tag. Okay, let's come back. Now there is no tag is available. So we are able to delete, and we are able to create, right? And we are able to update. If you want to fetch it, so same information we are able to fetch using an instance and instances, right? So if you want to see, so my instance, in a my instance there is a tag. So how you can see tag information, how now you can see, just copy this same exact and paste here, right? Run it. Let me see, it's a function, it's a property, why it is not giving. Okay, why it is not giving? Because there is no tag is associated to this. And if you come here, right, and if you check here, there is a tag is available. If you want to get this tag, so you just have to come back here, and you have a EC2 dot EC2 resource dot instance capital I, make sure, and here you have to put that instance, right? Let me save in a like a result my instance and run it, and my instance dot tags run it. Now you are able to run it, and if you want to see only values, for that you have to copy this one and use here like that and run it. Okay, let me delete first one so that I can it's an, and now you can see data is a list of dictionaries. So for that what I will do, I will use a zero index, all right, and then I will use this value, right? Let's make it, we are able to get like that. You can manipulate your data. We are able to perform the CRUD operation EC2 instant, how you can manipulate it, right?